What's up, Inkie peeps? It's Adele from Inkie Quill, and today I've got a triple page process video in my little traveler's notebook. I'm very close to finishing this one, and I'm getting excited about it because I think it's time to start a new volume here. I decided to use, because of course we haven't had Christmas yet, so I haven't got any Christmas photos from this year to scrap, and we haven't started doing any Christmassy things. I was hoping to actually get the tree up before baby, but it's not going to happen, and just because it'd be easier to have it up beforehand. We usually put our tree up on December 1st. Let me know if you are a December 1st person, or if you start letting all the Christmas things loose in November, or if you're last minute. Quite often we do end up as last minute, but that's not planned. So for this one, I printed off some of my favourite Christmassy photos from the last 2 years, and I thought it would be nice to document them all together and talk about some of the traditions that we have with putting the tree up and with what we do on Christmas Day. So Christmas this year will be a little bit different. Usually we go places and do breakfast, lunch and dinner at different houses, but today we're staying, well, not today, but this year we're staying put. So I thought it'd be fun to document the normal and then contrast it with what we're doing this year that's different. So first up, I grabbed some washi tape that I thought, well, let's be real, this washi tape right now, I could stick on everything and anything. I'm so obsessed with it. I think it's a Ranger one, and it came in a little pack with a few other mixed media-y style ones, and I just freaking am obsessed with it, and it went perfectly with the colour scheme of the November Printables, so I thought I might include it. And I decided to do this double page all about our tree. So we go with a fake tree. I think out of ease, when we first moved out of home, it was just easier to buy a fake tree. And then also the climate here in Australia around that time of year is quite warm, so keeping a real tree hydrated might be a little bit difficult. And with Archie and the bunnies, it's just easier at the moment to do a fake tree. And I love our tree. It's very chunky. It's very thick with a double C. And I have way too many decorations. I went on a bit of a decoration binge buying when we first moved out. How many years ago was that? 8 years ago, I think. And I bought so many Christmas decorations. So each year we kind of pick a different colour scheme to go with, because we have a bit of flexibility with different baubles and things like that. The favourites always go on the tree, but yeah, I'm not sure what colour scheme I'm going to go with this year. Let me know in the comments what colours if you do celebrate Christmas. I know not everyone does, but if you do celebrate Christmas, what colour your tree decorations are usually. Are you a traditional red, green and gold, or do you change it up every year like we do, or do you just go any colour, multicoloured? I'm thinking this year of maybe doing pink, and maybe pink, gold and white and silver. We'll see. Maybe even red thrown in there. Bit of a girly Christmas this year. We'll see what happens. So for this next part, I did some brush lettering up there. I did speed that up, and I sped up this next part with just outlining all of the brush lettering. These are with the Staedtler watercolour dual brush markers. And it's just a thing that I started a while ago, and this insert was just outlining all of my brush lettering. I think I may have done some brush lettering on one of the first few pages, and the tip of the Tombow that I used was a little feathery, and it didn't quite look as sharp as I wanted, so I outlined it, and I loved the look of it. It's funny when you do something that you don't mean to do, like it was by accident, and you end up loving that technique or that style, and so it's just kept throughout the whole album, which has worked out well. I like it, and I probably will keep it up for the next insert too. I had to include this photo of Archie and my dad. This is when Arch was about 9 months old, I think 8 or 9 months old, and he grabbed my dad's hand and pulled him over to the tree to give him a look of it. And I love this little photo of the two of them. So this is the first page, and they didn't take long to put together because I had a lot of photos, and I also used a lot of the journaling cards and the 3x8 cards, which you will see on this next page. So for this one, I wanted to use one of my favourite Christmassy photos from 2017 and 2018, and just talk about like what a difference a year makes in kids' reactions to how they deal with Christmas, I guess, how they process the season. This year's going to be really fun because, Archie's 2 3/4, I think he'll be. Yep, 2 3/4. And he loves giving people like presents and doing jobs and bringing things over to them. And I think he'll be really excited this year. And he also loves Santa. It'll be interesting to see if we can get a Santa photo this year with both children happy, and how that will go. I haven't booked I wanted to book a different Santa-y photo place that might be a little less intimidating than at the shopping centre, but I haven't had a chance to do that yet. So we'll have to wait and see how we go. But for this page, I wanted to use one of the 3x8 cards, and I picked a very Christmassy one on purpose just because I knew that I should use the Christmassy ones while I have Christmassy photos to scrap or journal, I guess, not scrap, journal. And so that's what I try to do when I make the printables. If I'm doing a themed month, I try to use the most themey bits out of it first, and then so the leftovers I've got can just be added to my normal stash and used for everyday things. Because that background was busy, I definitely had to matte my 2 photos just on a bit of white cardstock, and I'm just popping one at the top, one at the bottom. Because I'm getting to the end of this insert, it is quite chunky, but I know that I haven't got too many pages to go, so I am letting all the chunk out, and if I feel like adding extra papers, then I'm going for it. I'm adding all of the things. On this side, this is a little decoration that my bestie Karen bought before. Was it before? I think it was before Arch. No, it wouldn't. Yeah, before Archie was born, because I was pregnant for Christmas. And so she bought that from I think it was a Christmas market in Europe when she went on a holiday. And it's a special little decoration. So I thought it was a cute photo to include with this little bit of journaling about how much Archie has grown in just a year and how fun Christmas is going to be this time. So I'm using my Pilot G2 pen in the 07 as always, and some more of those Staedtler brush markers with a bit of journaling down the bottom here. And when you use the 3x8 papers in your Traveler's Notebook, they really do so much of the arty work for you. You don't have to worry about painting in there or adding too many embellishments because they take up a lot of the space. And I haven't included 3x8 papers before in the printables, but it's definitely something that I would like to include again next year, maybe once or twice. Let me know if you have liked that size of paper included in this month. So there's that page done. And then on to the final one. And I've been really wanting to use, I made one of these 3x8 cards that it was going to be a bit of a challenge for me to use, and I really wanted to use it in this one. And so it's not quite the width of the, what am I trying to say? Width of the insert of the notebook. And so I grabbed one of the plaid cards as well and chopped that in half and just put those on the outsides. And I just thought the colours went really well with the photos that I picked to put on this one. These photos are just candid ones of the big day, and I just wanted to, and a few days beforehand, I just wanted to pop them on, and I thought the colours just went so well with this very busy, phrasy card on the left-hand side. So then I just wanted to do just really quick journaling, some little stars. With Traveler's notebooks, they can be whatever you want to be. And I think when I first discovered them, I went on a bit of a rabbit hole looking up YouTube videos, and I thought they had to be presented in a very specific way. And I tried to make my Traveler's notebooks look a certain way, but it really is just what works for you. I think I've finally found my groove in my style, with making them kind of a hybrid scrapbook journal-y spot for me to have a little bit of freedom to document photos, but not the rigidness of having everything chronological. And focusing more on the story. So if you do use Traveler's notebooks, I'd love to know what you describe your style as and what you actually use them for. Do you use them as an art journal? Do you use them as a scrapbook, or do you use them to experiment with watercolor and do a lot more writing in them? I think they're just a great project that you can make suit whatever you like. Right, peeps, I am off. Don't forget to download your 30 pages of printables for this month. There's a lot. There is a lot. And I'd love to hear what you think of them. And I'll see you all very soon. Bye.